and I want to take an example of a game that I haven't analysed the whole game, but I wanted to go through this process with an individual. So I think for a post-game analysis process, I don't think it's enough to go and start from scratch after every game. Because if you start from scratch, when you win, again, I said it before, you might just disregard it and tell everyone good job and go. And then when you lose, you'll get annoyed at everyone. So I think consistent processes are really, really important. So I think, first of all, the coach has to have a clear philosophy on how they want to play. That's not just tactics, systems, that's individuals, and how that individual and what that individual adds to your program and what the roles and responsibilities are in and out of possession. That's part of a philosophy. Then create the metrics that will measure those principles with your key performance indicators after a game. Identify how you're going to benchmark good or bad performance. Again, we go to Rafa Benitez. Was the benchmark for Robbie Keane movement, or was the benchmark for Robbie Keane goals? Because Robbie Keane's saying goals and Rafa's saying your movement was. So it's just have those linked and have those communicated. And then another link towards the end is linking analysis with data to the analysis feedback. So your post-game, it's not just enough to have it all laid out and we use this and this is great. No, it's about landing the information to the player as effectively as possible. So I wanted to use this example. This was a game that was played a couple of months ago, Wolfsburg against Barcelona. And this is what I would do for a player, Svenja Huth, who was playing for Wolfsburg. Now, I'm going to say a disclaimer for here. I am not saying so. I'm going to use this from a defensive point of view because I wanted to look at how I would give feedback to a player without having access to them touching the ball. So if it was just her in possession, then I could just pick her clips, email her clips, and say good job. But I wanted to look at how she's going to impact the game or how she could have improved impact in the game without touching the ball, which is on the defensive side. So I have made these objective tactical references up. They are not objective for this exercise. It is not what Wolfsburg have in place. So I'm not criticizing the Wolfsburg player or the Wolfsburg coach by any means. World class, both of them. So I wanted to look at this is how I would do it if I was going through this process. So for this game, I want to look at Wolfsburg and their shape in a 4-2-3-1, and then in particular I want to look at the role of Svenja Huth, who's playing on the right, number 10. And whenever Barcelona are in the build and the ball is played to the centre back, looking at Huth to stand off the full back, and when the Barcelona forward comes inside, we want Huth to screen that pass and then invite the pass to the left back of Barcelona, the number 3. And when that pass is played to the Barcelona number 3, then we want her to aggressively close it down. Team will shift in the middle and cut off the switch and compress that space, stop the pass on the weak side to the Barcelona outside back or the winger, and then look to win that ball, and then looking for Huth then to provide an option in the transition to get forward and add to the attack as well. So to summarise it, it would be screen the pass into the wide attacker, invite pass into the fullback, create a 1v1 situation with the fullback. If you can win the 1v1, great. If it's played forward, then can we double up with the outside back? And then as a team, collectively, we're looking to stop on the switch. So I would load the game up to this system as coach logic. I would load it up there and set my KPIs on the right, and then look to tag the game. And look for, this is an example here, it's just a set piece. So set piece happens, I would make the tag on the right side, and I would go back and do this here in this process. And then every time a situation arose with Huth and defending, I would look to go back and revisit it. So this would be the clips that I would pull from the tagging. This is how I would present it. A few clips from the game presented to Huth if I was meeting with her. Five or six clips. You can see here, Wolfsburg well organised in their shape. 2-3-1 ahead of the back four. Huth is screening the Barcelona forward, but then the Barcelona midfielder drops into this space. And the Wolfsburg central midfielder goes with her, so now she's screening the forward pass. And that would allow Huth to be more aggressive with the fullback. So as soon as she could notice that, maybe she could step a bit quicker, and that could have stopped the switch. Barcelona worked the ball out and switched the play. In this one here, again, you see good shape from Wolfsburg. Huth does a good job of starting position. Then it turns into a 1v1 with the centre back. And then what we would want then from Huth would be to keep the ball on that side, and to limit Barcelona opening up the play either vertically or horizontally, and they work it really well. Again, ball goes back. Barcelona in the build. You can see the 4-2-3-1 again. Huth's position really good. This time the fullback plays a forward pass, opportunity for Huth to double up, which she does, but then the ball just comes out of this situation, and then Barcelona switch the play. So she does the work of doubling up, but with that situation there, Wolfsburg have numbers defensively and would expect to win the ball in that area, perhaps. This one here is difficult to double up. The pass makes the way through. You can see 4-2-3-1. The organisation, the shape is good. Huth is screening the pass. The pass somehow manages to get through, but the distance is too much for Huth to double up. So maybe on that one, it's the compactness from front to back. And because there's too much ground to make up, Barcelona work the ball out. That's a great switch. Puts them on the attack. This one here is more team than individual. Forward, Huth and the right back are in a really good position. In the middle, it's 3v3 as well. So a 2v3 on the end line, and that's where before the game we said they don't switch the play. We're looking for those situations to keep them in there. And then this one here, final one, where Barcelona midfielder drops in. And again, it's just a collective where who could step to this player. Centre forward could probably get closer. Huth could probably get closer as well. And if she did, the player on the far side, the fullback could rotate around and take that, and then that left the Barcelona forward. Centre back could rotate as well. So there could be a rotation there that perhaps Huth could have communicated, and the player on the ball just gets her head up, picks a pass, and the ball ends up being progressed and then switched. So that would be my example for breaking the game down, sending those clips, or sitting down if I was to meet with Huth the morning after a game or 2 mornings after a game, that's what I would present, and that's how I would present it. The animations that I used, I've put up with an offer on the chat room there, which is Keyframe. I've just started using Keyframe. Very, very easy, very, very affordable with all the animations. So I think the animations help, because when you're using the animations, it makes it look a lot. It communicates your information, I believe, a lot better. Another aspect of Keyframe is the time. How do you, if you don't have the time to meet all the players, or you don't have the office, well, I could have sent those clips to Huth, but then I'm not there to talk through it. So how do you combat that challenge? One aspect or one feature of Keyframe is that it allows you to do audio with it. So I wanted to show you kind of what I would do with that there, and how I would use that platform then to send over a clip. This is not, I'm not going to go through all the defensive clips again. This is just a clip in the transition where, say, we would have wanted her, when we won the ball, we would have wanted her to give us an option ahead of the ball, or to move the fullback in the transition. This is how I would have sent that information without maybe scheduling the meeting. So I'd go into Keyframe. I've taken the video out, so I would upload it into the system. I would just title it attacking clip. Takes less than 10 seconds to upload. Then I go and view it, and then I just do chroma key on the field that allows me to do the animations and move the players, and then I can talk about the game. So Wolf's work shape is really good. You can see it here. We would point it out. There's the four, two, three, one. As soon as the ball is played, Huth goes and presses, goes down the line, and then they intercept it. There's going to be a Barcelona defender who's going to start to press Huth really aggressively. And as soon as he goes to play it and then realizes that the Barcelona defender has got tight, we'd want Huth then to spin out and then get into that space and give this player an opportunity to play a ball maybe into the space for her to look for. But by staying there, she keeps the pressure on and the ball's lost. And then because I've done the audio on the clip, I can then send the clip to the player and they will be able to listen and watch the clip with the voiceover as well. So you should be able to hear exactly what I just said again. So Wolf's work shape is really good. You can see it here. We would point it out. There's the four, two, three, one. As soon as the ball is played, Huth goes and presses, goes down the line, and then they intercept it. There's going to be a Barcelona defender who's going to start to press Huth really